YouTube fellas and gals. It has been a minute. My title. I just seen my title. I forgot to change it. That's hysterical. Oh my goodness. Let me switch over. Wonder why. Let's see here. It says Happy Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Well, it's not Valentine's Day, people. So, anyways, I want to put out a message that I have a surprise coming up. Well, hello, handicapped. I have a surprise coming up in the future. And I also am going to put a message out that today at 5 o'clock, if you have the Whatnot app, come and join my first live auction. I'm so excited. I'm taking my bookstore to Whatnot because I had my bookstore open and then, of course, COVID shut everything down and I haven't been able to get back. I know. I forgot to change the title. I'll have to go in and delete it. But for people that have Whatnot, that's where my books are going to be listed. And if people want to shop, they have to go into Whatnot to do it. That's going to be my website because it's free to post things. And then you can have an auction if you want to. It's fun. So I'm excited. I just did a test run here a few minutes ago, and it's definitely different than other platforms. I've sold on Etsy and now I'm taking it to Whatnot. So I'm so excited. Hey, bud. Let me get you as a moderator too, handicap, because I didn't have you as a mod for some reason. But anyways, I'm pretty excited. I have met a lot of great people on Whatnot, and they are helping me set up so that I could start selling my books out of my bookstore. So I am so excited. I am. And even if it doesn't work, I'm okay with that too because I know a lot of people don't have time to read. But my first Whatnot auction will be today at 5 o'clock under Tammy's Passions. If anybody's interested, you can come over and watch. It's fun. I love my Whatnot people. I wouldn't have them splattered all over this channel if I didn't. They are so awesome over there. Very supportive. I just feel like they're not as cutthroat as some people over here on YouTube that step on your heads. And I'm really disappointed in a lot of Whatnot people through the years. The bickering, the fighting, the stupidity, the immatureness. But then I have a lot of YouTube people that I love. They're great. We visit each other, we have a ball, but you got to take the good with the bad, I guess, no matter where you're at. But I love it over there because they're so much more supportive. And that's why I've been over there. I've had so much fun. And there's a lot of eBay sellers there and it's a live chat platform. So you get to know who you're buying from. Poshmark, Macari, eBay, all the sellers are, there's so many people over there, and it is so cool to get to know them. So, it's fun. Whatnot's a blast. Etsy, you can't go live to sell, so it's hard to get to know people. Like some of the Etsy sellers I met through YouTube, which I was thankful for YouTube for that. But what I don't know how to explain Whatnot. I have so much fun over there. These people are like addicting. Thank you, but they keep telling me welcome to the dark side because I didn't know if I would like doing auctions, like, and selling over there, but they have a marketplace you can post things in too. The only thing that I have, everything that you do, you're going to have pet peeves is their stuff doesn't show up in Google. Like if you're looking for something specific and you type it in and you get Amazon pop up, Etsy pop up, you don't get that because not set up with Google. So it's got its separate search engine. Hey, Metro. But I have learned a lot from these sellers. They have raids where if you're a seller and you go into someone's stream and you raid, they follow you immediately. And they say, if you're a seller, put your stuff in, bookmark shows. They're so supportive over there. I have never met a place that's so supportive like they are. Because I feel the same way they do. There's enough room on here for everybody. And I remember when I came to YouTube, I couldn't get no advice on anything. Like people wouldn't tell me how to set up my arm, my camera, nothing. I had to search everything myself. And it would have been nice to have help. Over on Whatnot, you ask a question, you got like 50 people answering to help you. You know what I mean? And I just don't feel the competition over there like over here. I have been really disappointed in it, and I could share a lot of stories over here on YouTube of how ignorant people can be. I followed one person one time. I'm not going to say names because I'm not ignorant like that. But there was a YouTuber. It was like, bring your friends, share me out, do all this stuff for me. All these people did this, and as soon as they got the join button, they took away all the moderators. If you didn't join their channel, you were insignificant after they made it big. I was crushed. Like, I would never dream of doing that to people. And I have seen a few do that. They wait until they get their numbers and then you don't matter anymore, even though you helped them build their channel. And I'm not saying they owe you money, but they could at least show some respect to keep you as a moderator, because I know one person on here, she grew her channel and she says, I don't care if you watch a video, share me out, all of it matters. And I appreciate her for that. But you do have these people over here that are cutthroat. And it's very disappointing when that happens. Because I'm not on YouTube to use people to grow. You know what I mean? I like YouTube as fun. This is an extra time and stuff like that. But I think some people take it too far. And I've just been really disappointed. And I took a break away from YouTube for a little while because I'm just so tired of the backstabbers over here. When, to me, if you say you're enjoying something, don't lie. If you want to support somebody, don't lie about it. Be supportive of the people that you really want to support. And don't pretend that you're having fun or that you like people, but you really don't. And it's just, I can't stand that. But you're going to have good and bad no matter which platform you're on. Don't get me wrong, because I'm not totally bashing YouTube. I met a lot of great people here too. And the good people kind of outweigh it all. But it's just sad. Yeah, it's sad. Metro, you have been amazing. You and Brandon both, Tennessee Fish Keeper. You too, and I forget sometimes about, creating and sharing on my community tab. It took me a while to get used to the community tab because I forget about it sometimes. But I do share streams like privately in my messenger when people go live. I don't think it shows up on YouTube when you just copy and paste the link and stick it somewhere. But I do share with my friends where I'm at and different things. But YouTube really promote. Like you in Tennessee are so great at that. And there are people, like I said, that I appreciate over here so much. Exactly. But I love Whatnot. I just do. I feel more relaxed over there. I don't feel as stressed. And sometimes I do feel stressed on YouTube because even though you want to do for enjoyment, it's, you're coming up with content all the time, trying to think of new ideas you think people want to see. I find it stressful here, but it is fun here at times too. It goes both ways. But yep, exactly. Exactly, Metro, exactly. And there was a couple I unfollowed because of the way they treated their followers because it was just sad. Seriously, because you figure if you're sharing out and you're bringing all your friends to a platform and then they turn around and somebody gets monetized and then all of a sudden you don't matter. They're like, "Oh, but it was okay that I shared you out. It's okay that I brought my friends here. And now you're unmodding all your moderators and throwing us to the curb because we didn't hit the join button." Well, some people can't afford that join button. I love so many channels on YouTube. It would make me bankrupt if I had to hit the join button for every single one. I can't afford it. Yep. And it's like it, but to me, everything matters to handicap. If a person watches a video when you're monetized, that helps. If a person shares you out, that helps. Even the little things, even if they don't do the monetary. And I feel like ever since they have done the join button, and now they have subscriptions on freaking Twitter, which is now AKA X. When they started doing that, I feel like it made people cliquish. Like if you can't afford me, then you don't get special privileges or you don't get noticed. And I think it's horrible. That's just my opinion. I don't like clicks when I was in high school, and I sure in the heck don't like it online. I like everybody equally, you know? I just think it's sad. I think as soon as they made everything a subscription, everything went downhill. I figure if a person wants to tip your channel, they can, you know? Hey, Tuber. Yeah, if a person wants to tip, you've got ways to do that. That's just like when I've watched a couple that have taught something, I'll hit that thank you button and when I have the extra money and I'll tip a channel, but I just can't afford to do the monthly thing. I can't do it. So, because I have too many people over here I like, you know. Even if they're at 99 cents, if you like 100 channels, that's still a lot of money. So. But anyways, so when I went to Whatnot, I got to meet so many cool people that were eBay. So some are so shy. It's why some people, sell on eBay and stuff before everything became to where you can go live is because they're so shy. And I get that too. When COVID hit my bookstore and closed it, I paid cash for everything in my store. I don't have lease or rent. I don't have mom and pop shops make it. It's in my house and it still hurt. But we started having high crime here. And where my store is located in my house makes it more personal because I don't want somebody coming in here, doing stuff because I don't have money to do security. And if I scream, nobody would hear me down here, but they would hear me in my garage if I still had the store there. So I decided when COVID hit to take my store online. I just didn't know where to do it because Etsy is usually homemade items. Amazon and eBay are high in rates. And, I like selling my books reasonably. So we will see. Well, thank you, Tuber. we will see what happens with Whatnot. I am so excited to do my first live today at 5 o'clock on Whatnot. It's going to be a live auction. And if people buy books, they buy books. If they don't, they don't. Um, but I just don't want my books to end up in a landfill because I have a lot. And I still read. I still take the time, but it is hard with social media. I do so much reading on social media with text and stuff. Sometimes I don't feel like reading at the end of the night, and sometimes I do. Exactly, Metro. Exactly. Thank you, Handicap. But when you post on Etsy, this is just sharing some inside tips. When you post on Etsy, say you have 200 listings, it's going to cost you $20 just to post because it's 20 cents per listing, 20 cents. I do the math on all platforms. So you're paying 20 cents for something you don't even know if it's going to sell or not. That's the only thing I don't like about Etsy, but it's unlimited postings for free. It doesn't cost you anything. So I guess that's how they make their money because they don't charge. I mean, you can pay a monthly fee if you want to, but you don't have to. But I did like Etsy for some things, but sometimes things wouldn't sell and you're still losing money because that 20 cents only lasts for 5 months and then you have to renew it. So then you lost 40 items. If you look up eBay and Amazon, they charge that at the end. Once you sell an item, they take out 30 cents per item and whatever their fees are. I'm always looking at the math, people, and some people can't figure this out. But people who pay for Prime are actually wasting their money. Believe it or not, they are. If you pay for Prime and it gives you free shipping, that's all good and everything. But look at the prices. Look up some used books, people. If you look up a book, I was looking at this the other day. Say you have a book like this and you sell this, if you look at thrift books, their books are like $3.15 or $4 and something. Go look up the same book on freaking Amazon. I was looking up some books I was selling here the other, for the sale. And I'm not saying this because I'm selling books. Don't get me wrong. This is just the truth. I pulled up a book that was selling for $10.95. Why? Why? You're getting free shipping, but you're still paying it in the price of the book, people. When you figure a book is $3 and they have it for 10 something. Okay, so then I did the FBA calculator a long time ago because I was going to sell on Amazon at one point. If I sold a used book for $5, and I'm not talking Goodwill books, I'm talking a business with books because I have a licensed bookstore. When I put $5 in that FBA calculator, it come out negative 14 in the hole by the time Amazon took their charges out. Do the math, people. Do the math. I was blown away. I was just, what's the point? When people can go to a thrift store and pay a quarter for a book, why would you go on Amazon and pay 10 something for it? Seriously. And my books are bottom priced. Like my bookstore, these are like $1 a piece, and I am going to put them in the auction for the same price I have in the store. And to me, it's not about being a capitalist. It's about saving books from a landfill because I hate to see perfectly good books end up in the dump. And if you can't do it, turn them into crafts. Do something with them or recycle. That's my encouragement. Do not throw books away because trees gave their lives. That's my lecture for today. If you have a recycling place, I would rather see you recycle a perfectly good book than end up in a dump. Seriously. But some of these books were the ones I was talking about. When I look these up, they're like 10 something. And these books here, I have these starting out at $2. I go by size, not condition. I go by size. But yeah, I can't stand it. And people tell me all the time, you wouldn't believe our landfill full of books. I'm like, why? Why? When paper can be recycled. I recycle a lot. Like, we do cardboard, plastic. We have bins. Of course, we don't have them in my state. I have to go across the border into another state in order to do the recycling because they have the pictures on the bins of where they go, clear to glassware. It's awesome, the recycling place we have. So I take all my stuff there, and books, if they're falling apart. When I first started my bookstore and before I was creating journals, I literally would take the pages out. This is how meticulous Tammy is. I would tear the pages out of the books that were falling apart or missing pages, put those in the paper and the book board in cardboard to be recycled. Because like this one here, one of the journals, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I get books like this sometimes because, people sometimes just don't want to throw stuff away. But to give you an example, this is a memory book I made for my cats. The middle of it's fallen apart. See how there's a hole right here? You get some books that aren't like this that are sewed to the back. See how that's fallen apart? This was ripped. And you can see in here, let me find the page. See this right here? This here is deteriorating. The spine is dry rotted. So I turned this into a memory book for my cats. I took pages and tore some out and recycled them, and then put pictures over other pages to cover the words. But see how this looks right here? Now, eventually, if this book falls apart, I can make another one to re-put these pages in, but I'm going to leave it in this one. But these books I would never sell because they're falling apart. So I always name the flaws. And another thing, I bought a book years ago, and I'm not dissing Goodwill for this. It's just because, they don't check stuff. My word behind my bookstore is you're going to get all the pages in the book. And I have seen books that I have personally bought myself thrifting. I would get to the middle of the book and the pages would be torn out. I'm like, what? So when I sell my books, they not only get cleaned up, I go through every single page. And that's the guarantee behind my bookstores. You're going to get the story. And I sat and watched a Whatnot seller the other day just to prove my point, who had a children's book. I think it was a golden book or something. But anyway, they opened it up, didn't even know that there was a page ripped out in the center. They were flipping through it and that page popped up. They're like, oh my God, I can't sell this because the page is ripped. And I said, well, to a crafter, you could, drop your price, sell it to a crafter, because we can use the book board on it to turn it into a journal. And some people would buy a book to do that. But it's all in the eye of the beholder. And I hope my camera doesn't do this. There we go. When I'm selling later, because I don't have autofocus on, and I have no way to adjust it. But at Restream, I have to turn my cam on and turn it back on, off and on, to get it to focus back. For some reason, I don't know why it does that. See, if I hold something up for you to see it, and then I set it down, it goes out of focus, and sometimes it'll pop back. But I've noticed on Restream, you have to turn your camera on and off. But anyways, I will teach people any kind of errors I get or things I use when I go live and stuff. I like teaching people how to do it. I don't withhold information like some people do. And I was showing everybody today on Whatnot, I don't like using tripods. That's just my personal preference. They're top heavy, and a lot of times people drop their cameras. So I want to show you guys how I MacGyverize. So I bought an arm off of Amazon, And then this is my tip. Another tip for today. This is a Logitech cam, and this folds. There's a fold right there in the center, if you can see it. See that line? Okay. Well, my arm has a clip. It looks like a hair clip on the arm of it because it can hold a phone too. So my cam, when I bought my new one, this one here is bigger, so it wouldn't stay in the clip. So this is how Tammy MacGyverized it. She stuck a piece of paper in between it, and I got the clip holding the paper to hold the cam up. And that's what my arm looks like. And we used to use clips like that on hot rollers when I was younger. But this is how I have my stuff set up. And it's attached to my table. And I bought it on Amazon. I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on. Right there it is. That's how I do. And see how the clip opens to hold a phone? It also holds a camera. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money. It's only $22.90 for that arm. No, I don't make money doing this either, but I have them. I have a couple of these in my house. And but this is what works for me. So I can pull the arm down, or I can pull it back up. And and on YouTube, my screen is wider, so I'm able to get a view here. Where on Whatnot, it's more up and down. Whatnot is more iPhone friendly than Android. Just telling people. When you're on YouTube, when I first started, I could record like this. But when you record like this on YouTube, you get black on both sides. But if you put it like this on an easel and record, that's where your widescreen comes in on YouTube. On Whatnot, it's better to do it this way. It's really weird how the platforms are different. But you're going to see it skinnier because I'm going live through my laptop. And sometimes when you mod for somebody on Whatnot, like I'm a moderator for 3 people over there, I can't see pre-bids on an Android because they're not Android friendly. I'm just saying they're not. And if you go to Whatnot, it'll even tell you, start your live stream with the iPhone. Well, not everybody owns iPhones, and I'm not buying an iPhone just to go live. So it is what it is. I'm going to make do with what I have. So this is just tips I like sharing with people, that if you decide to do anything with Whatnot, I didn't know. I don't know how to use OBS. I watched a video. I could never figure it out. I mean, I'm tech savvy to an extent, but OBS gave me a headache. There's a girl over there whose fiance set hers up to OBS, and you can see her face across the top of Whatnot and her hands on the bottom. I can't figure out how to do that. I'm not even going to try. So, but I wanted to go live from my laptop instead of my phone. Now on YouTube, okay, I see you guys here. I can actually click into my YouTube, and there's what my live looks like, and I could see my live play. This is just another example. I can see myself play and read chat. On Whatnot, this is not here. You can't see your live on an Android because I'm going live through my computer. The only thing I could do is read the text and pin my whatever I'm putting up for auction. It's weird, but it won't show me my actual show because I'm on the computer in it. I don't know. It's a complete different setup. It's really weird to get used to, but I will. And then say we have 5 people in here and Handicap's live on his channel, or Metro's live on his channel. You know how like on YouTube we'll stick a link in and say, hey, go join this person's live. When our live is over, we can check to see who's live and kind of do a raid on YouTube that way. On Whatnot, it's really funny because back in the day on Yahoo, they used to have backslashes and you could put a put a room name in, and it was like a boot program where they drug you into another chat room. On Whatnot, they use that same format to do a raid. So say you and Metro are in my stream on Whatnot and say somebody else is live. I can hit the raid button in and bring us all to the next live. And they call that a raid on Whatnot. And it's really cool because when you do a raid over there, they'll say, oh, we got a raid. And they'll say, Tammy's Passions raid us. Make sure you follow her and bookmark her show. And they do a giveaway for the raids. Is that like not cool? So you never know what the giveaway could be. It could be, I've seen some do like gift cards. One did one to Starbucks, like $5 gift cards. They'll do maybe an art supply, or like Penguin Boss, she'll do postcards, or it's just awesome. I've won so many giveaways on Whatnot, it's not even funny. And if you don't like the giveaway, you don't have to enter. Yeah, I don't like tripods. Too many people drop us. They'll be showing something, and all of a sudden everything falls over. And my little ringlet, I pay $5 for this. Let me turn this off so I don't blind you guys. I paid $5 for this at the Dollar Tree. But like any other tripod, Metro, you set it falls over. The tripod on this from the Dollar Tree is plastic, and it doesn't hold very well. But I do like the light because you turn this on and you can change. Let me see. Let me find the mode. It goes to a lighter, a brighter. It changes out what your light looks like on color and brightness. This is like the best $5 I ever paid, except I don't like the bottom of it. I don't like tripods. Because like I said, I'm going to pull this up. And if you don't have this setting a specific way, set this up, it'll fall. Wait a minute. Let me tighten this up a little bit. I'm going to tighten my arm up a little bit. There, it's better. If like, let me move my book to show you what I mean. If you set this up, see, it's wonky. Like it'll lay all the way down. But if you don't have, because it's plastic, it falls over. And there's a lot of people that drop you in tripods. That's why I just don't like them. They're just not my favorite tool. But like I said, everybody has their preference. I prefer the arm because it stays stationary. I don't have to worry about it. But I do like this little light because it just gives me a light. I used to have a desk light sitting over here turned on to give me light. But that's all I do is just set it's sitting on my scales turned on. There's Ty. Hey, Ty. I'm having my first auction today. I'm so excited on Whatnot. I went to the dark side. So I'm having my first bookstore sale over there. And I'm excited. I just hope it goes okay. We were talking about different things that people use to set up their cameras and stuff. It's interesting for sure. But today, hey Jasmine, I will be live on Whatnot for my first auction. So I'm excited. Thank you. And I'm in the middle of Rita Bernadette's book. Oh my gosh, it is so good. The one that she wrote about her mom. Oh my God, it is so good. I read the first chapter and she had me in tears. But I didn't send out a bunch of advertisements about my first auction. I didn't put it like on my Instagram or anything. So, Bud, I like listening to Bud's stories. They have good historical stories on their channel. The only thing I didn't get to do was load some children's books today, and I forget what the other genre was I missed. I got cookbooks, westerns, religious books, romances, and action and suspense books. And I only did like 50 something to get started. But I'm excited because I need to move books out of my house. My bookstore's loaded and my craft room's mixed with it. So you can only imagine the disaster I have right now. And I wasn't kidding about Spiderville. I sent these pictures yesterday to one of the ladies I got to know on Whatnot. I wasn't kidding. When I call my craft room Spiderville, see, when my bookstore was down here, I cleaned twice a year. And when it got shut down, look what happened. See? See? There were some spider webs. And then here, because I haven't got to scrub it because I've got so much stuff down here. This is what my craft room / bookstore looks like. Look at this. I got a Swiffer and I keep knocking them down, and 2 days later they've got them built back up again. I'm not kidding when I call this Spiderville. I'm not joking. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Probably not. But they took over my window. I got webs all over the place down here. And they got these real long legs and these tiny bodies. And I swear they just keep reproducing down here because every time I come down here, I'm knocking down a new web. They're just having a field day in my bookstore, flying around, jumping on my books. So right now, the nickname for my craft room / bookstore is Spiderville. Every time I'm talking to my friends and message, I'm like, I'm heading down to Spiderville. And I got a spray down here that I use too, but I'll tell you one thing, it's hard to kill spiders. Alrighty, Metro. Thank you so much for coming. I'm telling you, Jasmine, it's horrible. It's weird because my husband walked down here the other day. I started in one room and I'm trying to get rid of the spider webs as I go along. And he walked into one and it smacked him in the face and he's going, up, up. I told him it's a mess down here. But once we get this under control, like a lot of the books and the clutter down here, I'm going to have a person come in here and spray because there's too much. We have ants. We have ants and spiders. So what I did, I found a concoction. And let me tell you, some of them work that are homemade, some don't. There's 2 ways you could do this if you have an ant problem. And believe me, this does work. I got a spray bottle and I put a little bit of Dawn in the bottom of it. Now you can either use lemon juice, which is what I used, or you can use a little bit of mint, like a couple tablespoons of liquid mint, like mint oil. But I had lemon juice. I buy lemon juice. So I put 2 tablespoons of that in a spray, just a regular squirt bottle, and shook it up with Dawn in it, filled it up with water, and I went all around my house and sprayed around the windows. And believe me, I could see the ant lines going up to the window sills and stuff trying to get in my house. And I have not seen any ants. It not only kills some of them, something to do with it breaking down their skeletal systems, it removes the line that they use to come up the window, like it gets rid of the scent. So I sprayed all my windows and underneath and my patio where they were coming in, because we had them coming in the back door into my living room. I about died. I went to sit down on I have a chair sitting behind my couch because I take my dog out. I put my shoes on and there was ants everywhere. Something bit me on the arm and I happened to look down here. They were swarming all over my floor. I was like, oh my God, like I don't deal enough with spiders. Now I got ant problems. So I was like dancing around, stepping on them all. And then I had to spray right where my back door comes in. They were coming in through a crack. So I had to put a spray down and got them to stop. And then I had to kill what was in the house. And then I seen them come in my bathroom. They were coming up the wall somehow. Down here, they were getting in the window, going up. They got a path somewhere, and they were coming through the caulking on my bathtub down onto my floor. And I told Michael, what the hell are they in the bathroom for? It's not like there's any food in there to draw them. So I had to spray the bathroom. It's just been wicked. That's why I told him it's better just to get a person to come in here and fumigate, because we got ant hills like so bad in our yard. And he was mowing the grass and he kept seeing us. That's all I've been doing is playing with them. It's ridiculous. Yeah, somebody told me about that. They said, get yourself a gecko. It'll eat all your spiders. And then we have a critter in our back garage. We had a bat living back there for a bit, and my husband kept chasing it out. And it's really weird because we have an indentation that looks like a square in the cement floor. Whatever it is, it keeps pooping in the same spot. So he decided to Google Lens it to see if he could figure out what it is. We can't find out what this creature is. So he's got a deer cam in the garage right now. We're trying to catch what's in there. We don't know if it's a rat, a bat, but something keeps going to the bathroom in the same spot. So we have that to deal with too. But that's what you get when you live in the country. But whatever it is, it's not coming in the house. It's just getting in the back garage. That back garage down here doesn't have any heat or anything to it. It's just an extra garage. It's not, we don't park our cars in it. We have a 2-car garage upstairs, but this house is wild. The way it was built, it was a business. Some guy in the room that I'm in built cabinets. And it was like just a block business. There's a garage, there's a middle room, and then the room I'm in. There's a bathroom down here, a washer and dryer hookup down here, and a back room that the floor leaks. We have to get that fixed too. And this whole bottom was just a business. Well, when we found this house on the realtor site, this wasn't even included in the pictures because this was built a long time ago first. I think that's what the problem is, why we got so many bugs down here. Somebody came along and built a house over top of it. So the house part upstairs is newer than down here. But they didn't list it in the listing because we didn't even know this was here when we came to look at the house. I told my husband, holy cow, we have an extra bathroom and everything downstairs that wasn't even in the pictures. And she said something about it, something not being finished and updated or something, that they couldn't include it in the realtor site. I don't know what that means, but whatever. So the upper part of the house is a ranch style brick that they stuck over top of it. But you can tell what's newer up there than down here. And there was a guy that stopped in at a yard sale we had, and there was a lady I met up the road. Her house was the first one built up here before any houses were even up here. And then there was a guy that stopped in the yard sale that said the lane beside my house was named after his uncle. This was actually his business. So I think I can't remember if they said the house was in the 70s or the bottom was built before. I don't know what the dates are, but they're different. So that might have been why they didn't include it in the realty pictures, because maybe something about this being older down here. I don't know. But the upstairs is nice. Like, this is me and my husband's dream home. As far as, it's hard to find a house with this kind of architecture in West Virginia. Most ranch style brick houses are in Pennsylvania, but they're a lot more expensive in PA. The common type house in West Virginia in this area is like a split level, but we wanted a ranch style brick. That's always been my dream. Of course, I wanted more property and horses. I had a bigger dream, but you got to deal with what you got. Can't afford horses, and I don't have the room for them, and I don't have the land for them, but what the heck. Can't have everything, I guess. But I do love this house. It's just there's just a lot of quirks with it because the bottom of it was older than what we realized. It just needs some work. But in the meantime, we got critters, so we're never alone. We always got bugs. So, you just got to deal with what you got to deal with. But I was raised in a sided house, and you could hear everything. Like, oh my goodness, you could hear cats fighting outside. You live in a brick house, it's like a tomb. You don't hear anything unless you open your windows. That's why I told my husband I don't miss the weather part of living in a sided house, where I feel a brick is more structured as far as, taking hurricane winds and all that kind of stuff. But I do miss the sounds. Unless we have the windows open, we don't hear nothing. It's kind of scary not being able to hear anything, but you can't. It's just different in structures. We had hail damage on our roof one year. Sometimes we get hail here. We don't get too much of hurricane except rain remnants, but we did have hail damage, but our insurance covered it. We got a brand new roof put on the house. And those guys were fast. Like, they seriously had the new roof on in one day. No coming back. They started with a crew and they did not stop. It was the fastest roof job I've ever seen in my life. Because most times when you hire places like that, they try to get the most pay they can from their workers, not this crew. And there was like $1,000 deductible. You have to pay $1,000 on our insurance, and then they covered the rest. Well, they waived it. The company said, if you put our sign in your yard for a year, we'll waive the $1,000. So that was really nice of the company to do that. So we didn't have to pay it. I was like, yes. So we put their sign out in our yard. So if anybody needed work done, it was a business strategy. So that was kind of nice. But this house needs some work down here. The top part of the house is decent, except for the ants we fought. But down here, it needs work. We need to get some stuff done. But I'm glad we moved here. I like it here because our old house, We had to dig ourselves out of the snow. It was down a back road on a dead end. It was awful in the winter. I had to climb like 3 flights of steps to bring groceries in the house. We're here, it's 2 steps, I'm in the house. The state road takes care of the road in front of our house. We don't have to worry about digging ourselves out. So as we grow older, this house is more set up that, God forbid one of us would end up in a wheelchair or anything like that. We have the accessibility with this house that we could put those features on and be okay. And this is my grow old house. But my other house was definitely a beginners for a young couple because I don't miss the steps. I don't miss the weather, but here it's good. So I think everybody should take that in consideration before they buy their house to give you the accesses you need to grow old in. Because I know my last house didn't. No way. I don't miss those steps for sure. But anyways, I just wanted to keep everybody updated. Like I said, I'm going to have a surprise. For those that are new to my channel, I did a World War II letter reading from World War II letters that I had won in an auction from a locker sale. And there's a playlist, but I never got to finish the story. So I'm excited because I have an ending. So I'm going to do a live soon and add that to the playlist. So I'm pretty excited. I am really excited. So, and I'll have to tell you how I got it and everything because it was really cool how it all happened. So I hope everybody gets to enjoy the ending of Elsie and William. He was World War II. He was in the Navy and he wrote letters to his girlfriend who became his wife. And I have all the letters and I will cherish them. And it's awesome. It's an awesome story. I didn't want it to end, but that'll be coming up in the future. So with that, I hope everybody has a great time. And whatever time zone you're in, I hope you're all having a great one. And I'll see you soon. So bye. And if you want to, come and join me on Whatnot for my auction because it's going to be fun. But I'll see you all later. And don't forget, if you're not on my Crafty Styles, add that channel too, because I go live on there too at times. But I'm on kind of a YouTube vacation break, so I don't have any, regular schedule here right now. But you guys take care, and I'll see you soon.